can finally start after what? Probably 30 minutes trying to figure this out. Well, not me, her.
It's always at least 30 minutes, I feel like. Like,
Yeah.
it's never quick. Because of audio, it's always audio.
Always.
Always. Like, we have to set up microphones. Are we missing microphones? Are they not working? They're not charged. They're not connected. It's
Always something. Like, it's never, oh yeah, let's record it. Boom.
Yeah,
Record it.
literally.
No.
But today we're trying new microphones. Upgrading again.
You're
So-
very close. That's
I
how you're
mean-
going to talk? Like this?
Well, not so, not so close, but I'm not sure how it's gonna work out. We're recording on 2 different softwares and like,
We're hoping this is going to work out.
yeah, if you can hear at least one of us, you can
Yeah,
like
only
lips
peace
the other one, I guess, and guess what we were talking about. But anyways, welcome to episode number
5?
5.
I think so. Maybe.
It's either 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
And, where are we, Kim?
We are at school.
It's Saturday, and we're at school.
Yeah.
Why is it because you live at school?
Yes, I live at school. Yeah.
So
But also, you've been wanting to record here.
yeah,
More
no,
than I do.
true, because I was actually excited for this episode because I wanted to talk for a while. First about being a student athlete, which is probably a topic that I enjoy a little more than you do.
Yeah. Talk
Because
about it.
every time you even like hear volleyball or I'm like no, I don't want to ever hear about it again. But we're gonna talk a little bit about how it is to study here in the United States. So I found it pretty,
Convenient.
how do you say like thematical? Thematic? I don't
I
know.
don't know. You're asking
Topical?
another international.
Sometimes it's hard to look for the words, but we are in classroom in school. This floor is for aviation, right?
Yeah.
So
what, is it?
I think it's aviation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we never, 2 of us never actually had class here. I'd never been in this classroom.
I haven't either.
But let's see how it plays out. I think it's pretty convenient, as you said. So I have a bunch of questions for Kim, and then I'm gonna be, of course, saying my own opinion.
Okay.
But
this would be an interview right now.
of course,
I'm gonna give my honest
feel famous.
opinion. I know I don't like volleyball right now, but as I said, volleyball has brought me here. So at the end of the day, I am grateful for it. And
That was a nice,
I did
nice
have
intro.
I did had some nice experience in volleyball. Like I had the good old times in Miami-Dade. My first year here, I liked it.
What happened the second?
Oof, you know,
I mean, was it the coaching? Was
the
it
coaching. Yeah, pretty bad coaching.
pretty bad coaching? And that was the only reason?
No, not the only one, but
It was your last year, right? The fourth?
yeah, my last year. Thank God.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was my last year. But yeah, let's start
Okay.
the questions.
So, what would you say is the main difference, academic-wise, or in like school in general, between Brazil and United States?
I think the main difference, oh my God, so much. It's just like we don't have universities like this in Brazil. Like, I didn't go to university there, but I went to high school, and I think it's just like very different. At least the high school that I went, it wasn't like so big, but also like academically, I believe, of course, we are in another level of academically here at this school, but I think overall Brazil does have a better academically status. I mean, is not recognized because everyone wants to come to the U.S. to study, but I do believe that Brazil is better. Like, people are more educated.
So it's harder in a way.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's like the main. Would you say like the way they teach here is different than when they teach home?
Yes.
How's it different?
Very different. I think here the U.S., let's say high school, right? They don't learn like geography or like history to a certain level. Like they do learn about the U.S., but that's it. And that's why when you ask
All you need to know.
when you ask an American person, all they think that exists is like the U.S. and like they are the best and the only place in the world when you're not. So like in Brazil, we learn like history of Brazil, of like Europe, like a lot of things that happened, like important history, and geography we learn about, not that I'm good at geography either, but we do learn in school, like, like the whole world, the continents and the countries, and like, inside our own country. So it depends of the year you are in, you're gonna learn about different things, not only about our own country. And we are pretty big.
True.
So,
yeah, I think it goes the same for Czech Republic. Like we learn so much about everything else. Like, I mean, everybody else. So literally, like to pass like certain grade exam for geography, you have to know every single flag of every single country, every single capital. Which is already something. While here geography is one of those classes that's not at every school is not required, part of the core courses. So sometimes that's when I think a lot of those videos on like TikTok when like Americans don't know where's even like Germany or would never even heard about like countries, pretty big countries. So that's definitely geography, I would say, is a big one. But you can't really tell in college because that's just that's just something.
But it's just something that you can like you can use for your life. Just be aware. You don't need to be like a expert on a subject, but like just be aware that you are not the only country in the world. Like the world doesn't go around you. And that's how I feel like Americans feel like it.
I think for sure.
We know English because everybody has to, like, they go to Europe and they're like, yeah, you have to speak English. No. And then you come to their country like trying to speak another language and they mad at you. But it's just like, you guys, that's my
turn into hate speech. One country I hate the most is going to be the name of the podcast. What major were you studying and why did you choose it coming here?
So actually, my major right now is business administration, but when I first got here to the US, I wanted it to do marketing. So I was doing marketing until like 2 years ago. However, our school, I can say ours, she's alumni, so our school removed marketing from the majors.
Oh, I remember, but I thought you could have finished if you already started.
No, I didn't have like the enough credits at the time to just finish.
Continue.
So I had to change to business, which is like kind of pretty much the same, but like
I remember it had some marketing classes.
Yeah, because I think it's just like for business too is the how do they call that you have to take those classes?
Core? Required?
Yeah, required courses, yeah. But I do want to do something with marketing once I graduate.
Okay, so what would be the dream job? Marketing where? Maryland's?
That would be nice. Marlins.
If someone's watching.
Someone from Marlins is watching this video. Maybe I think to start I would wanted to work for a marketing company, like those that sign with like different brands to do marketing campaigns and things like that. I think I would be like interested to work with the marketing company.
So what is it for you? Because I can't really imagine what it like. Is it like walking around taking pictures and posting them, or
no, like actually like going like sitting down with a company that signed with the agency and like create a strategy for marketing, like, oh, this is how we're gonna advertise your product. I have no idea how to do that, by the way. But that is something that I would want to learn more
Okay.
about, like advertisement and marketing. Maybe like also social media, because it's like where people do marketing the most right now. I think so. Maybe that something like that.
Let me check if it's on. Imagine though, because I just like went over in my head if I pressed the button.
You're gonna see my face watching you walking that way. I was like,
That would be so funny. Anyways,
what was your major?
my major was the same. I think most of the people and most of the athletes in our school went for this major for a reason, and that is very broad. So you don't really have to like choose as of right now, because what are the other majors at our school? We don't have many.
We have finance, we have education, communication, aviation.
We have communication.
We do.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of like a marketing, no?
No, well, but it's different. Like, you don't learn so much about the business, I think.
Okay.
What else they have? They have not much, to be honest, but they have a
They're
couple.
biology, no? To like a
Biology.
certain.
Yeah.
So all of the other ones are pretty like specific, I would say. So if you go into education, you expect it to be a teacher, or biology, researcher or something like that. But with business administration,
Yeah, but honestly, like, everything is business at the end of the day.
yeah,
you
no,
know?
for real. But
You
the
have so
thing
much
is,
to choose.
you have so much to choose, but at the same time, if you don't choose, I think you're gonna have a difficult time. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that arrive at the end of like the 4 years of a bachelor's, and it's just like, okay, like what now, right? Because they learn a little bit of accounting, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of, I don't know, management. And then if you didn't do any internships, especially as an international student, it's super hard to look for work here or for internships and stuff like that. And especially if you're a broad major, if you like engineering, STEM, and it's easier to but from here for sure. But in general, it's easier to look for jobs that are more specific and stuff like that. So I chose business administration probably for about the same reason as like every other or every second athlete at the school, because I did not want to specify what I'm going to do. I didn't know at the time when I was choosing.
If you could choose right now, what would you choose? Anything specific or no?
I would choose probably computer science, which is actually a major they have here, I think.
Yes.
I think I would choose something, more hands-on, more specific.
Okay. That seems really hard.
Yeah, I don't know if I would enjoy it, so I can't tell if I would do it over. I would actually do it, but if I could choose, I think I would go for something more specific, whether that's finance or some software engineering or maybe even aviation.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. But actually, I was looking into degrees in aviation at Embry-Riddle, which is a flight school, and it's cheaper than here. The masters is 22,000.
But then you have to get a lot of like specialization after the masters, and then you have to fly, and then you have to pay.
The flying, that's extra. Yeah, of course, if you want to be a pilot. But you can do management within airports and stuff like that.
That's
So
nice.
I don't know if I would want to do that, but it's pretty interesting. So
That's interesting.
it's actually funny. My mom called me. Did I tell you last week? And Martin, my best friend, he's finishing his master in finance at FIU this summer. And after each degree, as an international, you get optional practical training, which is pretty much like a work permit for a year in the United States, which is pretty good for us internationals. And so Martin is getting that because he's from Czech Republic as well. He's finishing the degree in summer. And I haven't been studying for a little bit. I mean, I go to school from time to time, but I have not been focused as much as I probably should have. And my mom called me, and she doesn't really understand entirely like the educational system or the work system in America. Of course, she never really, came in touch with it. And so I explained to her what is Martin doing, and she was like, so do I understand it right that in fall Martin's gonna have his second master's and a work permit, and you have none of that? And I was like, yep. I was like, you finally understand. Like, you know how it works now. So she was like, no, like you have to go, like you have to get a master degree, like you're gonna go to the same school as Martin, and you're gonna do the same degree, like the same major. I was like,
Okay, mom.
I was like, all right. And he actually does finance, so I don't think I would do very well with that. But that is why I'm thinking also about coming back to school to make your parents proud. So
I think that's like a very hard topic. It depends of like how you were raised, of course, and like what your like parents believe in. But one thing I don't like for my life personally is just like comparing to other people. Like for you, like of course you don't have, not like saying that's like huge for him. I'm not saying it's bad. Like really, it's like a great accomplishment. But I think the moment you start, like, oh my God, this person has, like 2 masters, like you kind of be like, oh my God, okay, I am nothing. But at the end of the day, sometimes you might like be, like more successful than him, like in something else, because it's not like the same. I think it's hard for parents to understand kind of that, because of course they want the best for us. But also I don't think that means anything. Not being like to shade on Martin, I promise. But like I'm trying to, hype you up.
thank you.
That's
Make you feel okay.
Yeah. I don't think honestly, like from the bottom of my heart, I know like people say education is like the only thing nobody can take away from you. I get that. That is true. Like it's awesome to be educated. Not just in school. I think education is just like in life. Like you learn every day, and you learn with people, like, just like friendships and whatever you learn. But I don't think that education is just like the meaning of success. Okay. If I were to be a citizen here, I'm not sure if I would get my master's, to be honest. Like, it's not something that, in order for you to be a successful person, you have to, because at the end of the day, most of those people that are like billionaires and millionaires,
high school dropouts.
exactly, they were like homeschooled, or like, it's just like, it's nothing. I think education is overrated. I do think in school.
In school, yeah, I think especially even companies, like they value a lot the work experience, because that's learning too. They don't call it learning, but
you learn a lot more working than studying.
Yeah, and I think some schools do a good job with like giving you the opportunities to learn hands-on, or at least simulate kind of with like some kind of projects to simulate the work environment.
And I'm not encouraging anyone to drop out. Please, like don't.
Comments like,
thank you, Kim.
Like
I go to school. But I'm just saying that because people tend like to compare, like, oh my God, this person is the same age as me, and is getting a master's or a doctor, or like that means nothing. That means nothing. Absolutely nothing. So.
I think for I think for parents it's kind of like the fear of not knowing what's gonna come, because the idea of my mom pretty much is that with those degrees, like you can always just get a job somewhere and make some money and then live off of it. So it's kind of like the point where it's not risky, not uncertain in a way. So, but that's really just depends. Like, you can always get fired. You can always, there's laying off.
And now with AI, honestly, like at some point, your masters, your bachelors, your whatever you have, is just gonna be a piece of paper.
True, and I think they're actually gonna have to radically change the way school works right now with everything, like all those papers that you write or discussion posts or that's just like, you can, and the teachers, they think they can tell, but
Yeah.
you can never tell. Like, if you're smart with it and don't just like copy paste, like you screenshot chatbot and submit it, like,
go around.
yeah, you can just go around, and I think there has to be some kind of a change. Maybe even like put it in use, like make assignments where you have to use chatbot, but you also have to use something else to,
Yeah.
so there has to be
That's
something.
why like practice is like you cannot cheat on practice. You cannot ask ChatGPT to do something for you, like in not writing wise. So yeah, that's why I say like school is just like overrated now, and especially nowadays it's just like becoming more and more. If you are smart, you're just gonna do great in life because you know how to work your way. I would say like that.
It's true. Chatbot is
Nothing.
in Czech. Actually, a lot of schools cancel the senior projects
Oh yeah.
because of ChatGPT. Like they say, it makes no sense. Like like if like you can tell a little bit, but not really, and then
Yeah.
why would you, like, the people have to read it, and like
Just waste time.
yeah, it makes no sense. So I think it's actually nice, and it should be changed in a way. So you actually do work on campus here at Florida Memorial. So how did you get the job at the first place? What do you do, and how did you get it at the first place?
I don't know where I work at, but where so Arthur, he saw this. Arthur was here at the time, so that was like back in 2021. He saw that they were hiring, and then he sent the link. I think he applied, and then I'm not sure. I'm not really
You
sure.
stole his job.
I'm not really sure if he applied.
You're like,
though.
I got it.
I know he sent the link. I didn't talk to him that much at the time. So I know he sent the link to Daphne. Daphne didn't have the social security at the time, but she applied, and then she sent it to me. And then I applied.
But
And
you had social security back then?
yes, because I used to work at Miami-Dade before already.
Ah, okay. What did you do at Miami-Dade?
I used to work at the international student office. So
So
using
like
like the
papers, some paperwork.
the I-20 and things like that, and like help students to get inside the school and things like that. It was pretty nice, actually.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Does Miami-Dade have dorms?
No,
So where did you live?
off campus.
Oh, you did? Hey, how did you do that without
we
car?
we had like an apartment with bike. We had bike.
Biked? No way.
To school every day. You see? You don't know about me. You don't know nothing.
I would never tell that you biked somewhere.
Yeah. What do you mean? I like biking.
So you got like sweaty in the class.
Basically, yes.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I could never tell.
Yeah, we used to live like walking was like 30 minutes away. Of course, in car was like 5.
Right.
That's Miami. Like, if you don't know, it would be like, oh my God, the Uber's like 5 minutes, and then you're gonna walk. That's like an hour. So yeah, the house was like 30 minutes away. It was like a volleyball house, of course, like with all the other girls that the school paid for athletes. Actually, it was like the complex you leave. Kind of, it wasn't like as fancy as, but it was like a complex like that. And then all the sports used to leave. We used to live close to the baseball, which was like no bueno.
Oh my God.
So it was like one complex was like baseball, and then our complex, and then one like down the road it was used to be softball, and our complex I think was basketball as well, women's basketball, and the baseball men's basketball.
So how many people was in the apartment?
It depends. The last one I lived was like 4 people. So
Okay, that's
2
good.
each
Did you have a
room.
roommate, or you had
one roommate?
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it was like pretty. It
That's
was
nice
fine.
though.
Yeah, and then we used to go to school with bikes, but the
I
bikes
just-
we used to buy was like the cheapest one, of course. So I used to like break a lot. By the end of like my time at Miami-Dade, I was just like, tired of biking, and
I'm sure.
and I was like, I'm not fixing this bike again because it's just like to break a lot. And then I do love walking, so I was just like go walking to the school by the end. Yeah.
No, but that's one thing I realized, thanks to Martin actually as well, is that coming from my country, here you don't walk at all.
No.
at
No.
all. Like nowhere you do walk. Like if I would compare my steps from some app, like back in home and here, like here you the furthest you go is like from your kitchen to your bathroom,
It
or
is.
like occasionally or to your car, but you never
Go for a
actually
walk.
go for a walk or walk to places because the places are not just reachable within walking distance. So that's a huge change. Like if I would be back home from where I live, it's like 10 minutes walk to the gym. If I would be back home, I would walk it every day. Here, I for some reason was always driving my car there. And Martin was like, "Are you crazy? Like, it's 10. Go for a walk." So now I walk every day to the gym just to
But
like-
also, like, okay, your gym probably is close to your house, but places here, it's
Yeah.
very far. I don't know why. Like, everything is far away.
It's super spread out.
Like here, even if to go to the Walmart closest to the school, this is like a huge walk.
No, it is. Yeah.
And it's not like, you have place to walk. Like, there's a highway. You cannot be walking like that.
Yeah, there's no sidewalks. Like here,
Yeah.
they're not prepared for, not even for bikes though. Like
Yeah.
there's no bike lanes. There's no, everything
It's
is
just
like
like highways.
6 lines, highways. Like it's difficult. Like
Back at home, we do everything walking because we don't have a car. My mom has like the motorcycle, I would say.
oh, she does.
Yeah.
Like moped or like actual motorcycle.
I think like more of a moped.
Okay.
That's how you call that?
It's like moped is the one when you like
Yeah.
sit down and you have your legs up.
That's the
That's
one.
what she has?
Yeah, that's the one she has.
What
So,
color? Is it like the retro?
No.
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 Okay.
I have no idea. I'll show you later.
Okay.
I don't know. But everything else we do like walking. Like to go to a supermarket, like to the bank, or everything. We just walk. It's just like
Exactly.
normal for us to walk.
Yeah, here. No,
What is
never.
walking?
The first time I came here, the second day, I think, when I came to Florida Memorial, I wanted to go to the gym. Back then, Florida Memorial didn't have a trainer, so the gym was always locked. It was during the summer pre-season for soccer. So I found a gym on the map. It was close. It was by Dunkin' Donuts, if you know where is Dunkin'. You know.
Not really.
It's not far from here, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna run to the gym, and I'm gonna work out. And the roads I went through, I went and then on a highway bridge, like run down. It was like no sidewalks whatsoever,
insane. But it
nothing
is
at
true.
all. So I was just like, you know what?
But it is true.
So that's a huge difference, I would say here. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
And that's
pretty
one
difficult to
thing-
stay fit here
Yeah.
because you don't move
You don't.
really.
That's one thing I like about Europe too. We are like that in Brazil too. I think pretty much U.S. No, I'm kidding. I think New York they walk a lot.
New York?
Yeah.
True.
They
Or
walk more.
anywhere they have public transportation, even LA
Yeah.
has like a
It's more
subway.
walking. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say. I wanted to say it's U.S., but it's not U.S.
Maybe Miami is like that, but downtown, if
Yeah.
you live there. But here, you live in the suburbs, and it's just so spread, so much space.
Yeah,
So
maybe the area we live in. That makes sense.
maybe, but still, I think average American walks way less.
Yeah.
So you said Arthur sent it to Daphne.
Yeah.
Daphne sent it to you.
And then I applied. And
You
I got the
applied,
job.
and out of all of them, you got it.
Well, I don't know if Arthur applied.
Okay.
Like I don't remember that because we weren't like that friends at the time. So I know Daphne did, but she didn't have the Social Security, and I was the
Okay.
only one who had the Social Security. So I got the job.
That's nice. And so, how was your first moments or days or weeks?
So I was.
Because your boss was Brazilian, right?
Yeah.
So that must
No,
have
he's
been
not
pretty.
Brazilian.
He's not Brazilian.
No,
Where's he from?
he's from Haiti.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
He's not Brazilian.
He's not Brazilian. Why did I think he's Brazilian?
No, he lived in Brazil. He's not Brazilian.
Oh, he lived in Brazil.
Yeah.
Because he speaks Portuguese. No?
Yeah. So the thing
okay.
is, okay. So when I first got the job, it was as a temporary. So I was like just for a rush. So they do hire some people for like 2-3 weeks. That is when classes starts. And I was one of them. So once my very first day, it was the team lead that was working at the time. My boss wasn't there. So she was just like, like, let's do this and whatever, asked me to do a few stuff.
Was it some student or like older?
No, she used to work for the company. She didn't go here, like just a random person.
Okay.
And then I did whatever she asked me to. And then, like, I think maybe like the day after, I don't even remember. My boss came and then he sat down and then we were talking, of course, in Portuguese. So the thing is, he went to, like, the same way I came to the US when I was like young to study, he went abroad to Brazil to study. So he loves Brazil. He's more Brazilian than I am, for sure.
A lot of people.
He went to Brazil to study a completely new language. He didn't know anything in Portuguese, and at the time when he went, things were different. It wasn't like technology and wise and things like that. So he said that Brazilian people helped him like a lot once he like first got there, and he had in his heart that he had to help a Brazilian just the way that he was helped. So I was the lucky one
You got
to
the
be
payback.
helped by him, and I loved him.
I know.
He was just like a father to me. He was just like the best. Never felt like he was my boss. Always like respected him. Till now, he doesn't even work like with me anymore. But I call him like kind of every day just to see how he's doing. He's just like the sweetest person ever. He always like treated me as his daughter. He always like respected me, always gave like good advices. He also was the one who told me to do the masters. I
Really?
never wanted to do the masters. Like I was like, you know what? I'm doing my bachelor's and I'm out of here. He sat me down and he was like, you're gonna do your masters. Like my father, he was like, you're gonna do your masters because this and this and this. Like you have to get this masters. Like in this country, which is true. Like you need a masters. And then I was like, okay. And then I changed my mind and I started my master's. So, but that's how I got the job. And then he liked me, like the way that I work, and he knows already Brazilian people. So, yeah, that's how I got my job.
That's a great story. I would come back to where you were saying that he's probably more Brazilian than you. I wanted to ask if you could be born in any other country in the world, what would you choose?
You're not gonna believe this.
What is it? Czech Republic? No.
Brazil. I would not choose to be born in any other country other than Brazil.
Really? So you would choose Brazil?
I love the language. I do like speaking Portuguese because I don't think like a lot of people can. It's not like an easy language. It's a beautiful country, like country-wise. And I'm not talking about people, but also like the good people. We are nice people. Like we are nice. Like at the end of the day, if you go to Brazil, no, I'm saying like if you go to Brazil, we're like Colombians. Like like very respected.
Respectful?
No, I forgot the word right now. Whatever. We're nice people. I love the food. Like the food is just, to me, is the best food in the world. So I don't care what people say. I would never, one country I would never choose to be born at would be US.
America?
Like, I'm sorry. I like America though. Like it's different because opportunities wise, like, but I think Brazil could be like 10 times better than America. I really do. Like, if people were to, like take serious and see the value that our country has, like we are so freaking big, like
No, it's huge.
we
Like,
have
the
everything.
population.
Yeah, we have everything in our country. But the sad thing is we just appreciate way more things that when it comes from the US, which is really sad, like education. If you get a degree here and go to Brazil, they're gonna be like, oh my God, but it's not like, at the end of the day, your education is way better. Like, appreciate more the people. And artist wise, when somebody from here, like a shitty ass person, they feel like they are, oh my God, I'm so famous. Like, we just do that for you, but we don't appreciate our own country most time. But I would choose to be Brazilian.
That's cool. That's interesting. I was actually thinking about it the other day too, and I could not think about any other country than Czech as well. So
Really?
it's I think it's
Yeah.
you know
I think everyone. I don't think anybody would choose. I mean, now if you say besides Brazil.
well it really depends like where you
Oh yeah.
come from because you know
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
come from
North Korea.
yeah or like even Nicaragua or like places
Yeah,
like
true.
that. But Czech is generally doing pretty good. I think I would maybe think about Holland or Belgium,
Okay.
which is all countries that are well educated, very safe,
Mhm.
you know, which is probably what you like go for.
Yeah.
But maybe even Brazil, to be honest. But yeah, it depends. You know, some countries have way better circumstances for you growing up, and therefore better options.
True.
But for how many options and opportunities America have, I would not want to be born here.
I wouldn't either.
So, but it's great to come here, and I think it's weird to say because I believe education in America is very good. It's just not everywhere. You know, I think a lot of countries have it way more like spread out. Like the education is way similar, of course not entirely, but more similar to each other and to other schools. But in America you have schools that are Harvard, and then you have schools like so the differences between the schools are enormous,
Yeah. That's
and
true.
the really bad schools are really bad, and the good schools are really good. So
That's true.
there's a huge difference. But I think for us internationals, it's actually interesting to
And
then
education
come
here
here.
is really expensive.
Oh yeah,
Like really, that's why they count so much when you gonna get a job. You know, like where that counts a lot for American people, which is insane. Like where did you graduate from? You know, like people take that like so serious. I'm like, okay, chill out.
yeah. I think they even base like your salary, you know, starting salary. Like
Yeah.
if you come out of Harvard, your starting salary on the same position is gonna be way higher than someone who came out of whatever else.
Yeah,
So
for sure. But I get that because you did pay a lot. And also you get more, you get like the best professors and like you paid so much money to graduate from that school.
you push through
So
it.
I would expect to get a nice salary.
That's funny. And then you said if you would have to choose outside Brazil, what would it be?
Maybe Colombia. Oh, but Colombia is South America. I love South America. I wouldn't choose to be not a Latina.
Really?
Yeah.
So no white, no
I like,
black,
if maybe Europe, I think Spain.
Asian. Spain.
No.
Okay.
Maybe
Spain.
Spain. Portugal
I-
for sure, no.
No? What's the difference for you between Portugal and Spain?
Oh, everything. They don't even speak the same language. I don't like Portuguese from Portugal.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
But it's similar to yours,
No.
right? But you can understand it.
No.
No?
People said that, but
Really?
It's very different. Very different.
Oh, I had
I
no
think
idea.
to me, I was telling my sister that because when I went for summer last time, I had a layover in.
Lisbon?
No, it was
Porto.
somewhere in Portugal. It wasn't Lisbon. And the airport, of course, they were saying, like, talking Portuguese of Portugal. And then I was like, what the fuck? I would wait for her to talk in either Spanish or English. I could understand better than
Okay.
that. And I was like, what? And I was telling my sister, she's like, yeah, me too. I don't understand anything
That's
from the
crazy. I
Portuguese.
had no idea that it's like that different.
To me, if you speak to me in Spanish, would be like better than you speaking Portuguese from Portugal.
Damn.
Yeah, and also I think ours is prettier.
And ours is better. I'm actually trying to learn Portuguese this summer. So I'll see how it plays out.
I
how it
think
works
you'll be
out.
great. You already know Spanish. It's not too.
I know a little bit of Spanish, but I think
She says she knows a little bit of Spanish. That stressed me out because you do know Spanish.
no, like for example, you know way more Spanish than I do.
Okay, but you can have a fully conversation. You can understand everything, so you
True.
do know Spanish.
I can have a conversation,
Exactly.
but
so
not
that's,
very elaborated.
It's not like she only knows how to say hola. It's not.
I can have a simple conversation in Spanish.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Spanish
Perfect.
people are simple,
it's
so.
enough. Regarding to your job, when we come back
Jesus Christ.
to your anonymous job, uh, do you think you would want to continue something like this after graduating, or you would want to go more towards like marketing or?
If my company were to sponsor me, I would definitely continue doing that because it is a big company at the end of the day, which that's why I think they wouldn't sponsor me. Because
Sounds like you work for Apple or something.
oh no, not Apple. Guys. If
Microsoft.
it was Apple, I would for sure say it.
It's a big company.
But people doesn't like honestly, people doesn't even know the size of the company. But I say like big
No, I'm sure
company
it's
because
big.
it's just like it's the biggest one in the U.S. for that.
It's Amazon.
I'm kidding. I say big because it's just like the type of company that they can get anybody to work and train them, the person to do that. You know, it's not like something, it's small or like they have a owner, you know, like, oh my God, I own this company. So, you know, I care about the company. Not saying that the people that own my company doesn't care, but it's investors. So it is different. But if they were to sponsor me, for sure, which I don't think they would because it's just like, you know, any regular person can do what I do. So it's not worth it for them to spend, what, how much is this sponsor? Like $500,000 maybe?
Is it?
It's like really expensive.
No way.
I don't know if it's that much, but I know it's really expensive.
I have no idea, to be honest. I know it's a process that, you know, usually smaller companies go for because
Exactly.
they can't really compete on the job market with the big ones, so they try to at least bring internationals with the same knowledge and skills. But I know it's a very difficult process, but I had no idea how much money they actually put in or how much time.
I know, because you have to pay the lawyer, you have to pay, and also you have to prove, like to the U.S., whatever, that they are paying me for something that I do that you, American, cannot do.
Okay.
So it's not like, you know, oh my God, like not any other person can do what I do. It's not. Like everyone can do what I do. So it is different. So that's why I think, that's why maybe I would just like get inside maybe a Brazilian company. So, you know, they cannot get an American because of course they're not gonna speak Portuguese. So they can prove like I need somebody that speaks Portuguese. So that makes more sense for them.
Okay. Well, yeah, the languages is definitely something that can be used
Yeah.
in those terms.
For sure.
So maybe that's, you know, I probably can't play it on Czech, but you can probably play it
Oh, you
on
can.
Portuguese.
Maybe you find like a Czech company here.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. It's just that Czech is super small.
Yeah,
so.
but every country does business of U.S. Every single country. Maybe not in Miami, but somewhere in the U.S. you're gonna find.
True. There's actually from like the middle or east of Europe, so many people for whatever reason goes to Chicago. It's full of Polish, Slovakian, Czech. I don't know why. I don't know why they choose. I feel like Latinos they choose New York or Miami. And Mexicans they go LA.
Or Texas.
Yeah, or Texas. There's like specific cities where people like to
go.
come. And then I guess it just goes because you already know your family's there, or friends is there, so you go to the same place. But there's definitely specific cities in America that have like, what would you say, where's the biggest population of Brazilians in America? What city?
Brazilians? Maybe
Miami?
Miami.
Is it
I
Miami?
wanted to say Miami. Yeah.
It makes sense because of the languages here.
Yeah.
A lot of people speak at least Spanish, so you can somehow get along or get around if you know,
True.
if you need to. Well, anyways, those are my questions for today.
Those are great questions.
I appreciate it. And do you have anything else you would like to share?
No, just like, subscribe on
Comment.
our YouTube channel, on your Instagram. I don't have Instagram right now, so you're gonna have to.
Okay,
yeah.
it's gonna
On
be me
TikTok.
posting.
And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.
Check everything. Hopefully, the microphone works, the video works, and see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Oh, maybe.